Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are. This is Catania Alvin, and I'm speaking from Droitwich, which is about 30 miles from Birmingham. It was a salt route, and apparently there's famous Droitwich salt. That's, I should think, rock salt. So I want to say thank you everyone for your likes, your shares, your comments and your donations. It's all very helpful, and I feel that there's I love reading your comments, and I don't always get a chance to reply to them. I often want to. I'm going off to Canada at the beginning of February for 6 weeks to be with my daughter. There's a lot that I need to get done. Okay, this is a rendering of the Star Spangled Banner by yours truly. Okay, now here, I'll leave it for that at the moment. Now here we've got Rudy Giuliani. Okay, this is his podcast, episode 1. Since no crime exists, it must be dismissed. And the next video is Rudy Giuliani talking on Fox and Friends about this shameful, utterly shameful, the lies, the deceit that is showing up regarding the Democrats and this Ukrainian connection with Joe Biden and etc. So here we have the beginning of Rudy Giuliani. I'll play you a little bit of this, Common Sense. And remember, on my YouTube I've got a Thomas Paine's quote.
It's our purpose to bring to bear the principle of common sense and rational discussion to the issues of our day. America was created at a time of great turmoil, tremendous disagreements, anger, hatred. There was a book written in 1776 that guided much of the discipline of thinking, that brought to us the discovery of our freedoms, of our God-given freedoms.
And they were also fighting against the King of England, who had actually given the Founding Fathers in 1621, as far as I understand, a charter to create a colony. And then he sent the British ships out to bombard them because he changed his mind. I suppose the royal prerogative.
It was Thomas Paine's Common Sense, written in 1776, one of the first American bestsellers, in which Thomas Paine explained, by rational principles, the reason why these small colonies felt the necessity to separate from the Kingdom of Great Britain and the King of England. He explained their inherent desire.
And that King of England was not the same one that actually gave the charter to the founding fathers.
Desire for liberty, for freedom, the freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the ability to select the people who govern them. And he explained it in ways that were understandable to all the people, not just the elite. Because the desire for freedom is universal. The desire for freedom adheres in the human mind, and it is part of the human soul. Today we face another time of turmoil, of anger, very serious partisan division. This is exactly the time we should consult our history. Look at what we've done in the past and see if we can't use it to help us now. We understand that our founders created the greatest country in the history of the world, the greatest democracy, the freest country, a country that has taken more people out of poverty than any country ever. All of us are so fortunate to be Americans. We're not a perfect country. They weren't perfect men and women, and neither are we. But they did it better than anyone else. We have to hope we can do the same thing, to keep America a leader. But a great deal of the reason for America's constant ability to self-improve is because we are able to reason. We're able to talk, we're able to discuss, we're able to analyze, we're able to apply our God-given common sense. So let's begin. And appropriately, let's begin with the major issue that seems to be consuming us today and for some time. The Democrats would call it impeachment, and the Republicans would call it a coup. And it's, of course, the impeachment that was voted by the Democrats in the House of Representatives, the 2 articles of impeachment against our lawfully elected president, Donald J. Trump. This is only...
I'll just interject here. Of course, this will go in the description box, and do listen to the whole of it. Is that who started the Democratic Party? Who was behind it? According to the research I did, and I just did a little, I didn't follow up on it, but it was the Rothschilds, the British bankers, or the banking cartel, right? Bank of England was set up in 1694, and the Committee 300 was set up in 1894, and the Rothschilds were involved in the Committee 300. And the bankers, the 24 wealthy landowners, set up under William Paterson the Bank of England. There have been a lot of connections there.
The third time in the history of this country that there has been articles of impeachment presented to the United States Senate.
Do watch it. I just want to make sure that we get some of his discussion with Fox and Friends. Here we go.
The President of the United States knows the Vice President's not going to be home. He's going to be meeting His Holiness, the Pope, today overseas. That's going to be a big deal. And the President's going to be giving some remarks at a pro-life rally soon.
Next to you.
I know. Oh, Rudy Giuliani's here, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, you're burying the lead.
Not the Pope. It's not the Pope.
Rudy, I know you've got some new evidence you're going to be presenting
A
today.
lot.
But first, were your ears burning yesterday? Because yesterday the Democrats in their House impeachment proceedings were talking a lot about you. They talked about Lev Parnas, who says the president and you knew everything that he was doing. They showed your phone records. They built a case that you were up to no good for the president.
How about all of those phone records show that I am a very hardworking lawyer who was investigating what really happened, because I didn't go look for dirt on Joe Biden. It was handed to me. And it was handed to me a year, almost a year and a half ago.
You didn't ask for it?
No, I was given information about Ukrainian corruption. It involved by 2 people, 2 informants. You're going to find out at least who one of them is, and possibly the second. And they told me that there was a great deal of collusion going on in Ukraine to fix the 2016 election
In the United
in
States.
favor of Hillary. That what happened in Russia was a big hoax. That actually it was the Democrats projecting what they had actually done in Ukraine. know if it's true or not. They gave me witnesses, the 2 prosecutor generals, the current one and the last one. I've since interviewed 10 of them. I've got 8 of them on tape. I'm going to start a podcast at noon today. And starting next week, the people will hear these witnesses who our embassy will not give a visa to because they're still covering up the corruption the embassy was involved
They don't want them to come
in
to the United
2016.
States?
The embassy was involved in gathering dirt on Trump Jr., and on Manafort.
Well, that
Not only
makes the
that,
State
they were involved in turning over falsified evidence, absolutely completely falsified. 4 witnesses will testify to that over the course of the next 2 to 3
Mr.
weeks.
Mayor, let me ask you.
I'm going to present over the next 2 to 3 weeks shocking crimes at the highest levels of both governments, while the Senate is listening to a totally phony group of stories about non-impeachable offenses. It's like trying somebody for not a crime. It's a total waste of money. It's a complete show on the part of the Democrats.
Right.
And they should be sued for conspiracy to defraud the United States, and they should pay for that hearing.
But Mr. Mayor, do you...
The Democratic National Committee should pay for that television advertising. And you talk about interfering in the 2020 election. You know, I started investigating Biden 2 years ago when he was thinking about running for president. I never thought he would run. Looked to me like he couldn't cross the street, much less run. I wasn't investigating Biden. In the middle of the corruption presentation, one gentleman said to me, well, you know about the Biden bribe. I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, Biden got paid off. And he went to Poroshenko. He forced the prosecutor out. Not only did he get his son out, but he got Burisma out. So one of the things we're going to reveal, we always ask, why did this happen? Why would a crooked Ukrainian oligarch, whose company is about to be taken away from him, who's sitting in Switzerland with $5 billion he stole, all this is just fact. His name is Mykola Zlochevsky. This is all true, what I just said. He hires the son of the vice president, who just got thrown out of the Navy for failing a drug test, had been in and out of rehab most of his life, was a failure in business, and was involved in 2 or 3 other scandals involving his father before, including busted companies where they were using his name, Joe's name. Why would he hire this guy? I'll tell you why. He was buying Joe Biden to protect his company. He was, that money, which is at least $8 million, and it could go up to 20, based on the investigation they're now doing, but at least $8 million in laundered money, some of it, that was to buy Joe Biden's protection if and when Poroshenko came after his company. And then, when it happened,
Right.
in 1 month, I've got February 2nd of 2016, they raid Burisma offices and close it down. So much that there was no investigation going on. February 15th, they get a notification from Latvia that Hunter Biden is involved in the money laundering. Have it in writing, translated from Russian. And then right after that is when Biden says, get rid of Shokin. And Shokin will testify to that, and I will show you a document that in September of last year, Shokin was taken to the hospital with mercury poisoning.
All right, so let me just get a word in. I know you.
And you know this happens in Ukraine and Russia.
Right. So,
The
Mr.
method
Mayor,
of choice is poisoning.
so let's just say that everything you say proves 100% true.
It is 100%
Would
true.
you also
I'll
say?
do that.
Would you also say that the way you approached it, for in the short term, which we're in the middle of, has made things worse for the
No,
president?
I would say the way I approach it is for the benefit of the American people. When the vice president of the United States corrupts the president of another country, that is about as horrendous a crime as you can find.
But don't
Not
we have
only
an
that,
apparatus to pursue these things?
the apparatus to pursue
and you
it
could
was...
still lead it through.
Brian,
Giuliani has really, it's about as horrendous a crime when the vice president of one country tries to corrupt the president of another country. That's what was happening. And he's putting it out in podcasts. This is Katania Alvin saying, God bless, have a wonderful rest of the day, whatever time of day it is for you. Bye-bye for now. God bless.